Hey, IOSDux here. Today we'll talk about heal management, a concept that originally comes from MMOs, but I think it very much applies to Overwatch as well. So let's start things off by talking about why you should do it. The idea behind managing healing is to get priority ultimates up first. This allows you to engage first in most times, and you also need to keep in mind that some characters get their charge easier, and we will go over the support characters later. Also, managing your healing is important in order to keep critical targets alive. You shouldn't heal based on HP, but on the danger they have of dying soon. Also, you should consider stealth CDs, like for instance Wraith form, when you are healing someone. And try to be aware of one-shot damage. Someone with 300 HP may look pretty safe, but in reality, if the target has no armor, that could still be a one-shot for a Widowmaker. Starting things off with the healer who has, in my opinion, the lowest heal priority. Lucio. He gets his ult passively anyways, and you need to consider that a speed aura is really good. So any time spent on heal aura is time wasted that you could have used for speed aura. You are basically giving up on something in order to get ult charge, which is really bad. Often you hold your ultimate anyways, and the enemy's ultimates need to charge for a long time as well, especially Zarya's ultimate. So you have no stress to get your ultimate up fast, since you need to wait for enemies' ultimates anyways, because Lucio's ultimate is more of a reactive ultimate than to engage, especially on defense. Next up, Zenyatta. Now, giving Zenyatta healing is a little more important. However, his ultimate doesn't really help against burst. So for instance, if the enemies have a Tracer in their team and they want to combo that with the Zarya ultimate, then you don't really need to worry about giving Zen his ultimate quickly. Also, Zenyatta compared to Lucio actually deals a lot of damage, and this can be used as a main way for him to get his ultimate, which means that usually Zenyatta tends to give healing to the other supports, since he gets fine along just dealing damage on his own. Now the next two spots are a bit more fluid, and it's not very much defined which of them has the higher priority, but let's start off with Ana. Now, Ana's pretty similar to Zenyatta, as in that she can deal damage, and quite a lot of it actually, which helps her charge her ultimate, so she isn't as reliant on getting ult charge by healing her teammates. Also, her ultimate is incredibly important and really strong, even after the recent nerf to its movement speed, so getting Ana's ultimate up first, before a Lucio or Zenyatta ultimate, can be a key to win certain teamfights. Most of the time, the winner of a teamfight is decided by which team has the Ana ultimate, and this usually is decided by which Ana simply gets her ultimate first. And last but definitely not least, we have Mercy. Her ult is one of the most important parts of her kit, next to maybe her damage boost, and the only way for her to get this ultimate is by healing teammates. The damage boost doesn't give any charge, sadly, so her ultimate can take a while to charge, especially if the team comp doesn't have too many tanks. She can only heal one target at once as well. Ana, for instance, can heal multiple ones with her grenade, and Lucio with his aura, obviously. So Mercy's only way of getting her ultimate is by single target healing teammates. So if you are playing, for instance, Ana or Zenyatta, make sure to not give out your orb or, shoot at your teammates that are healed by Mercy, unless they really need it, because Mercy does rely on that extra heal per second. Okay, obviously there are a few exceptions. For instance, if you already have your ultimate, then you obviously don't want to steal healing. In these cases, it's usually better to just look at, critical health targets and maybe help them out, but leave the rest of the healing to your support if you can, to the other support. If you need a defensive ultimate soon, for instance, then it may be worth it to give your Lucio his ultimate, instead of, healing yourself as Ana. Your ultimate as Ana is usually more important, but if you know that the enemies are going to, Zarya ultimate soon, then Lucio doesn't have his ultimate, then it may be worth it to give him the charge and let him know that. Also, when you are the only healer alive, you need to know this. Always look at the kill feed and always be aware of your surroundings. If your co-support, if you're in a dual support setup, dies, then it's really important that you disregard everything I have said so far and go on full out healing per second mode. Also, giving ult charge to your co-supporters is important, but it's very premium. If you need to keep someone alive, then that should be your main priority. Letting someone die is worse than stealing your Ana's ult charge, for instance. Now that you know about this concept of heal management and giving your co-supporters heal charge, make sure to let your team know. Tell them that either you need ult charge because you're really close to your ultimate and the enemies are about to engage soon, and tell them that you, for instance, don't need ult charge, so that, for instance, your Mercy, when you're playing Lucio, can heal your teammates more and, you know, doesn't have to hesitate. There's nothing worse than you giving your support ult charge and she's not even realizing it, and then, you know, she's going to flame you about why you weren't healing, and it's pretty bad to tell her afterwards that you were simply planning to give her more ult charge for her own ultimate. Alright, I hope that these concepts may help you out, especially in your own games. I have some pretty interesting stuff coming up in the future. My name is Eustax, and I'd like to thank you for learning.